So let's take a look at what we have. We have an items table and a room table. We see that there's a relationship. If I go to Database Tools, I can display the relationship. And we even have a form here so that we can browse the data and we can change, update the data, or create new records in there. Let me go ahead and close all these items here that I have open. Okay, before you change anything, you have to close things. Now, later on, you might want to change some of this stuff, and the way you do that is by going into Design View. So instead of just double-clicking it, okay, this is what you would see when you're using it. We don't want to use it. Later on, we may want to update it. We right-click and we go into Design View. Now, remember this? Let's say you want to add a new field here to items, so maybe the weight of the item, for example. You would do that there. You can also do that with the form. Okay, go in, right-click, go to Design View, and you can change the layout of your form. We're going to take a look at this a little bit later. Let's go ahead and close everything and take a look at all the objects in our database. So if I click this arrow here, okay, I see I'm viewing all the objects, but I don't have to. I can see just the forms by selecting Forms, or if I just want to display the tables only, I select Tables. I have two tables. Let's go back and select All Objects, so I see my two tables and my form. But what else can we add in Access? Well, we can add a query, and we looked at SQL queries earlier in the course, and we're going to be coming back to queries. But right now, we're going to explore reports. So what is a report? Well, a report is a document, a printed document that you're going to give someone. Now, can I just double-click on items and go ahead and print this out? Yes, I can. I think if I go to back here, and I can go ahead and select print and just print the table only. But that doesn't look very professional. You know, a printed document needs to be more attractive if you're giving it to your boss or it's being circulated within a company. It needs to look more attractive, and this is not attractive at all. Even if you're not in a company, what if you're giving this information to your insurance company? Okay, so you can create a much better display than this, and that's what reports are for. And that's what you're doing in part 4 of the test. You're automatically generating a report for all the books, and you're generating a second report for all the authors, and you want to add up the books at the bottom that they published. So, for example, author 1 published 3 books, author 2 published 10 books, and so on. So you just sum that all up, 3 plus 10 plus, and you have a total at the bottom of the report. And reports look nice. That's the whole point. Well, I'm not going to do this, but I will get you started on it. I'm going to do something very similar to that. So let's create a report now. We go to the Create menu, and look down here at the bottom. You have these groupings: the table grouping, the query grouping, the form grouping, and there it is, reports. So let's go ahead and create a new report. Now we can do it the easy way and the hard way. Here's the hard way. Go right into Design View. Yuck. Well, that's a lot of work. You will be able to do this at some point, and maybe in the next couple of courses we'll be looking at how to design things manually like that. But right now we want to make our life simple. Let's generate the report automatically. Create, go to the Reports group. Anytime you want to generate something automatically, you use a wizard, the Report Wizard. Now, just like we did with a query, it's asking you what table is your report based on. We're going to base it on the items table, and we can select one by one the information we want on it, or we can select all the items, boom, just by clicking that double arrow. If we make a mistake, let's say we don't want serial number on it, on the report, we can go ahead and remove the information that we don't want on our report. So there it is. So let's go to the next screen. So we're going to click Next. Now this is grouping. You can lump the items in your report together, okay? And if we were to group these items together, maybe we want to go, I think the most logical way to organize it into groups would be by room. Maybe we want to see everything in the kitchen first, then everything in the bedroom. So we're going to create separate groupings, and that's what we're doing on this screen here. So select how you want to group related items together, okay, and we're going to select room. Just select one grouping only, okay. So you're going to see kitchen, and then bedroom, and then so on. So we got the rooms. Click Next, okay, and now it's asking you, how do you want to sort them? Now remember, sorting means listing items from highest to lowest, or lowest to highest, or alphabetical order. So how do you want to organize them? Do you want to organize them in terms of price, or do you want to do it alphabetically by name? Okay, let's go ahead and select item name here. And when you are sorting going up, so A, B, C, D, E, that's called ascending. And when you're going down from the letter Z, that's descending order. So when it comes to alphabetical sorting, you do it ascending. Maybe if it's cost, maybe you want the most expensive item at the top, so you would descend downward. Now, this part is confusing. You can sort within a sort, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave that alone. I just want to sort one time. I don't want to sort two times. So we have a grouping. We're grouping all the items by the room. And within each group, we're going to sort it from highest cost to lowest cost, and that's called descending sort. We click Next, and then we can decide what we want our report to look like. We have various layouts or formats. Portrait and landscape just means how are you orienting your paper. As I click back and forth, okay, you can see I can have my printed page up and down. That's called portrait. Or if my printed page is going to be side to side, that's landscape. And I'm going to leave it as portrait. Okay, let's click Next, and I'm going to choose the default layout. Okay, now we're almost finished. It's tempting to click Finish, but don't. Okay, remember, we already have something here called items. Okay, we have a table called items. So this is going to be confusing if we also have a report called items. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to precede the name with RPT for short. And I think that's it. We are now ready to generate our report. And there it is. So you can see here the items are listed. Now, there's a small problem over here. Okay, I guess this is, well, we're going to go ahead and fix it. So let's go into Design View. We're going to close this. Okay, we're going to come to the report, right-click, and go to Design. And it's right here on the right-hand side. So maybe we just have to do a little bit of resizing to be able to get everything to fit properly. Okay, so try not to do too much here because we haven't looked at Design View, and that still needs to be explained to you. But I'm just spreading this out a little bit. I'm doing a little bit of resizing because the date was not showing previously. Okay, and there we go. And then I'm going to expand date. Okay, so that's the purchase date. So let's go ahead, save our changes. And this time when I generate my report, I can see the actual purchase dates right there. And it's not perfect. The label at the top is, not very beautiful, but we're going to come back and we're going to fix all of this later.